Erin Spain, and today I'm going to show you how to make this DIY headboard. Now, I wanted this headboard to have a fun shape and a bright color because it's going in my 5-year-old son's bedroom, but of course you could customize it with any finish or color you choose. If you have any questions, please leave those in the comment section below, and please be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already and click the bell icon. Thank you so much for watching. Let's get started. You can find a supply list as well as links to products that I used and a link to the written tutorial on my blog in the description box below. The first thing I did was cut 2x2 boards down to 12 pieces at 12 inches long each and 19 pieces at 9 inches long each. I sanded everything, which not gonna lie was tedious and time consuming, and then I used my pocket hole jig to drill pocket holes at each end of my 9-inch long 2x2 pieces. By the way, this headboard is for a full-size bed, so if you do not have a full-size bed, you will have to adjust your dimensions accordingly. I created 6 separate squares by attaching 2 9-inch long pieces of 2x2 and 2 12-inch long pieces using 1 1/4 inch pocket screws, which in hindsight were not quite long enough and the headboard seemed pretty flimsy, so I will share my fix for that in a minute. I used a speed square just to make sure that everything was lining up straight. I connected my squares by using pocket screws to create 2 rows of 3 squares, each attached with 9-inch long 2x2s. I found it helpful to mark the center point of the square and the connecting pieces and then line them up and attach them. I absolutely love my new workbench, and you can find out more about it in my blog post, which is linked in the description box below. But once this started to get a little bit too wide for the workbench, I did have to move back down to the ground. Then I connected my 2 rows of squares using the remaining 9-inch long 2x2 pieces. I cut 2 more 2x2 pieces at 20 inches long each for the legs. However, I do wish I had made them a little bit longer because when I have the pillows on the bed, part of the pattern is hidden, so definitely measure the proper height of how you want it to look once the bed is all made up before determining your leg height. I attached the legs with pocket hole screws, but then I went in and added more reinforcement later, which I'll show you in a minute. I measured the distance from one leg to the other and it was 50 inches, so I cut a 1x2 board down to 50 inches long. I sanded the rough edges and we will connect this to the legs in a minute. The entire headboard was pretty flimsy, so I took it all apart and added wood glue and then screwed it all back together, and that didn't help, so I also added brad nails for added reinforcement, and that didn't help either, so I will show you in a minute what I ended up doing. In the meantime, I connected the 1x2 horizontally from one leg to another by pre-drilling holes with my countersinking drill bit on the outside of each leg and then attaching them with 2-inch long wood screws. I also added reinforcement to the legs by pre-drilling a hole at an angle and then driving screws in from the bottom. Now here's what I did to help with the flimsiness of the whole headboard, and it's what I wish I had done from the start. I went in and pre-drilled holes with my countersinking drill bit and just connected everything with 2-inch long wood screws, which I could putty over later, but this added a lot of strength and it solved the problem of being too flimsy. Then I sanded everything smooth one last time. I went in with some wood filler and patched over my screw holes as well as any knots in the wood to prevent bleed through later on when I painted. Then I sanded that smooth once it dried. I primed it with a coat of Kills before painting, And then I painted it with 2 coats of a yummy orange color. This is Behr Marquee paint in the color Japanese Koi, and I used a satin finish. I finished the headboard with a water-based polyacrylic top coat. Then it was time to put the room together and attach the headboard to the bed. As you can see, it was a hot mess to begin with, so I just tried to style it and make it look nicer, and of course clean it up while my kids were at school. And it was exhausting. I added some new bedding and removed the curtains, and then I ended up having to take down the string art just because I would have had to hang it so much higher on the wall. I did make the string art, so I will link to that tutorial in the description box below. Here it is installed in the room, and you can anchor it to the wall or bolt it to your bed frame. And now for the outtakes. Piece of hair is driving me crazy. All right. Oh my gosh, this hair, stop. I'm turning off the fan. Turn off. Turn off. Turn off. Thank you. Okay, nope, let's try that again. Thanks for watching. I'll be back after the holidays with new videos every Thursday. In the meantime, you can connect with me online at ErinSpain.com and on social media at ErinSpainBlog.